Good morning. The air in Athens was thick with tension as the city teetered on the brink of political upheaval. It was a time when ideas were as precarious as the city's fragile stability. And as I walked the narrow, winding streets of my beloved city, I could sense the storm brewing on the horizon. The very principles I had devoted my life to were now under threat, not from external enemies, but from within the heart of our intellectual community. My home, once a sanctuary of scholarly pursuit, had become a place of anxiety. I recall the oppressive heat of the summer sun pressing down upon the city, mirroring the mounting pressure on my own endeavors. The clamor of the marketplace, once a vibrant symphony of everyday life, now seemed like a backdrop to the silent conspiracies unfolding in darkened corners. It was amidst this cacophony of uncertainty that I found myself compelled to act with caution and resolve. In the midst of these turbulent times, I recognized that the preservation of my writings, my life's work, was paramount. I had spent countless hours meticulously documenting my thoughts on ethics, politics, and the natural world. And now, faced with the prospect of their potential destruction, I was resolved to safeguard them. My first action was to secret away the most sensitive manuscripts. Under the cover of night, with only the stars as my witnesses, I transported them to a hidden chamber beneath the floorboards of a trusted friend's home. The chamber was concealed behind a false wall, and I took meticulous care to ensure its secrecy. Yet safeguarding my manuscripts was only part of the challenge. I knew that in this climate of suspicion, the intellectual freedom I championed was at risk. Meetings with my fellow philosophers and students had to be conducted with utmost discretion. We gathered in dimly lit rooms, often cloaked in darkness to avoid prying eyes. The discussions were hushed, filled with a sense of urgency and camaraderie. Each conversation was a careful dance of ideas, interlaced with strategies to navigate the growing threats. Despite the tension, there was an unspoken resolve among us to preserve the essence of our intellectual heritage. In these clandestine gatherings, I saw the true measure of intellectual bravery. My students, though young and inexperienced, showed a remarkable dedication to our cause. Their willingness to engage in these secret meetings, despite the risks, was a testament to their commitment to the values we held dear. I remember one such night, the flickering light of our single oil lamp casting long shadows on the walls, as we debated the nature of virtue in the face of tyranny. It was in these moments of shared conviction that I found solace and strength. Reflecting on these events, I am acutely aware of the profound lesson they imparted. The need to defend one's principles and intellectual freedom, especially during times of crisis, is crucial. The preservation of knowledge and the pursuit of truth are not merely academic pursuits, but are essential to the vitality of any society. My experience during this period underscored the importance of courage in the face of adversity and the value of unwavering commitment to one's beliefs. As I conclude this account of a challenging period, I encourage you to consider the importance of defending your own principles, particularly when faced with opposition. In every era, there are forces that seek to suppress ideas and stifle intellectual freedom. The courage to uphold one's convictions, to protect and nurture the pursuit of knowledge, is a timeless lesson. Today, reflect on the ways in which you can support and safeguard the values you hold dear, whether in your personal endeavors or within the broader context of your community. Remember that true wisdom requires not only the pursuit of understanding, but also the resilience to protect it in the face of adversity.